What makes you, you? Is it all the stuff you've accrued up till now? Is it where you're from, the clothes you wear, or the profession you choose? Or is it the chances you've been given to rise to a challenge and contribute your perspective to the problems that the world faces? The Mosquito people live in an isolated region of Honduras. This remoteness means that they have had limited opportunities for education and advancement. We haven't heard their perspective. Until now. The Institute of Abundant Life is a Christian middle and high school designed to empower, inspire, and educate Mosquito students at the most competitive level. Since its inception, the school has been helping these young people bring their unique voices, talents, and perspectives into the world at large, to enrich it, to help shape it. We're here because we see raw, limitless potential. Their voices matter, and with your help, we can continue to give them the opportunities they need to succeed and flourish, in Honduras and in the world at large. This school exists because people like you sustain it, through your donations, your visits, your contributions. It exists because people like you understand that our world is best when we all have a chance to help shape it. We invite you to help create opportunities where there were none, to discover new perspectives, and to envision a more complete world, beginning right now in Honduras. Learn more at reachouthonduras.org.
Hi, my name is Laura Waits. My husband Alex and I are the co-founders of Reach Out Honduras.
And I'm Katie Velosin, and I am the, as of this year, Executive Director of Reach Out Honduras.
We would like to welcome you to our annual Fall Gala.
Fireside Chat Edition.
We are so grateful that you're with us this evening. We wanted to accommodate a format that would welcome our friends from near and far to join us and hear about all the great things happening on the ground in Honduras.
We hope it feels like you're just in the living room hanging out with us and catching up on what we've been up to. To just get started, after our big 10-year anniversary last year, what was y'all's original heart behind Reach Out Honduras?
So when I reflect way back to 2010, our original heart really was to come alongside the work that was already being done in the La Mosquitia region by a lot of local mosquito individuals, by other NGOs, nonprofits, and to just really be a support. At that point, we had no intention of starting a school.
Because this is 2010.
Yes, 2010.
The
original founding of Reach Out Honduras.
And Abundant Life Institute was 2014.
Right. And so as we moved our family there to Honduras on the ground, and we started learning about the culture, we realized there was really a gap in the area of education.
Yeah.
So we began to ask questions of local leaders, talk to parents, talk to students, and eventually the idea of Abundant Life Institute was born. So we spent the years of 2011, 12, and 13 buying the property, building the first classrooms, interviewing students, dreaming with parents, and in 2014, our doors opened to our first class of 67th graders.
Who are
all now graduated and moving onward with their lives.
And from that beginning and like with starting the school and everything, you and Alex's vision, because I've heard you talk about it over the years, and I know that has stayed consistent, but it has always been to build up that leadership on the ground, right? Like that team to be the ones who carry forward.
Absolutely. We believe that God has planted talents and creativity and solutions for challenges around the globe. So we bring words of encouragement, and we bring support, and they bring the creativity and the talent and the knowledge of the culture. And it becomes a true collaboration on that end. So we knew from the very beginning that the talent was there. It was a matter of finding the talent, encouraging the talent, and then just letting them fly. And that's a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight, is how beautifully they are flying, and then how on the US side, we're also moving forward in a really important transition.
Yeah. So earlier this year, I found this quote when I was just looking at different impact reporting approaches and stuff. And this spoke so perfectly to Laura and Alex's just approach and leadership style and what they've really built. And so I just wanted to share that and speak to it. But it says, go to the people, live with them, learn from them, love them, start with what they know, build with what they have. But with the best leaders, when the work is done, the task accomplished, the people will say, we have done this ourselves.
In life, as creators and as people that that dream and create, our sincere and desire is that the things that we plant continue to grow long after we're gone. And in order for that to happen, there has to be the beautiful letting go and allowing other people to water and fertilize and take care of that dream, so that it becomes all of our dream instead of just two people's dream.
Yeah.
So that is really important as well. I mean, we want to create things that last.
All of your dreams you are so good about pulling people into, and like finding the raw talent, like in all of our students and all of our staff. Like in me is just seeing these things and creating those opportunities and being so like excited and joyful to like see those things like come to life.
And sometimes it is hard, and sometimes in life we want to close our hands tight around the things that we're afraid of letting go of, but that chokes things out instead of giving life to things. So I really felt through the years that God was prompting us to just keep opening our hands, and allow, and much like we do in parenting, right, in terms of raising up our children and allowing them to fly, and then also at the same time being a safe space for them to come back to when and if they need that. Eustachio Jimenez is our current administrator on the ground. Eustachio had been the director of a high school. He had some experience, and he came on board. Eustachio brought a stability and a calmness and an understanding of both the educational system in Honduras and how to navigate that, as well as bringing the various cultures in La Mosquitia together. Working with Eustachio has been one of the greatest experiences of my life. He is young and creative and smart, but so wise beyond his years.
And so humble.
So humble. And you'll have an opportunity to hear directly from Eustachio. And one of the things when I was watching his interview, one of the things that really struck me was when he talked about his students coming back and not only being his colleagues, but also being his teacher. So for him learning from the students, and I felt like that brings everything full circle and really represents all that he is as a person.
Why he's such a good leader of the organization.
Yes.
That's truly what drives him and makes him excited every day, is that all of their students, or like all of our students, will be their leaders and the community leaders and be like guiding them in the future.
Right, of the future.
Yeah.
you will hear his just solid, stable confidence in himself and in his role. And what a privilege to be able to stand alongside of someone like that as they take this vision, move this vision forward.
Hello, my name is Eusebio Jimenez. Traje mi currículum y el 2017 pues fue aprobado mi currículum y del 2017 a la actualidad aquí estamos haciendo todo lo que nosotros podemos, todo lo que yo puedo hacer como docente, como líder en lo que es el Instituto de Vida Abundante. Me motiva mucho seguir como educador. Uno es, Dios nos ha dado, por decirlo así, gracias a Dios, Él nos ha dado ese don. Dios nos ha dado ese don de ser educador. Y si nosotros escogimos ser educador, es con un propósito. Y ese propósito que nosotros tenemos y ser educador también nos lleva a un momento de ser líderes. Educador es una palabra pequeña pero con mucho significado. Que hoy estoy dando clases a los estudiantes y mañana estos estudiantes son mis compañeros. Yo sé que el Instituto de Vida Abundante, a pesar de todo, de ser nuevo, ya no tan nuevo porque empezamos en 2014, pero yo sé que los sueños se han cumplido, las misiones ahí vamos y en vez de nivelarse o estar en el mismo puesto o bajar, va ascendiendo más. Y en un futuro lo que yo estoy viendo que dentro de lo que es el Vida Abundante vamos a tener la mayor parte, o sea, todos los docentes que estamos podemos tener solo docentes, ya no podemos decir licenciados, sino que podemos tener todos una maestría o un doctorado. Creo que en esa parte somos pioneros, el Instituto de Vida Abundante es pionero porque todos los docentes del Instituto de Vida Abundante ya cuentan con lo que es el Diplomado en Educación Superior. Nuestros estudiantes en un futuro, ver que nuestros propios estudiantes, nosotros vamos hacia arriba, ¿verdad? Nosotros vamos terminando la fase de nosotros estamos formando más. En un futuro podemos tener a un director que fue estudiante del Vida Abundante, a un secretario que fue estudiante del Vida Abundante. En un futuro podemos ver que los profesionales que están trabajando en el Vida Abundante sean los mismos estudiantes que nosotros formamos dentro del Vida Abundante. Esa es la idea, esa es la misión que tenemos. Es que todo estudiante que entre a la puerta del Vida Abundante salga con el objetivo, con el sueño que él desea. Que cada uno de los estudiantes que nosotros tenemos aquí en séptimo lleguen a la puerta de la universidad. Que cada uno de los estudiantes que nosotros tenemos aquí lleguen a ser profesionales. Cosas que lo motiva a uno a seguir educando y ver que el fruto que uno está dando, ellos mismos pueden ir mejorando lo que es Honduras, por decirlo así, mejorar la sociedad.
We did staff interviews on the ground this year, and all of the teachers wrote in, and Eustachio's, all of his reports were just, it was gold stars all around, but just everyone just adores him and feels so supported by him.
He is so respectful of the individuals that work alongside him, with him, whether it be the other leaders at the school, to the staff, to the watchmen, to the cooks. Mm-hmm. He is very respectful and honoring of people. Mm-hmm. So that helps him be a great leader. Another thing I wanted to share about Eustachio is he recently completed his MBA in educational leadership, thanks to our teacher development program.
He has such a long list of all of
He has such a long list of
certificates.
And yes, and many other certificates.
Yeah.
And they call them diplomatic.
Yeah.
He just continues, he believes in continuing education. So he models that for the staff. Mm-hmm. And so if you have an opportunity to help with our teacher development program, it makes a difference in the lives of our teachers. It makes them feel like they are stronger leaders. And as you'll hear Eustachio share tonight as well, we have teachers on staff who would like to get their doctorate degrees. So we are really going to continue, the teacher development program continues to be part of the vision moving forward for Reach Out Honduras.
Yeah.
Because the more our teachers learn, the more they can incorporate into the classroom, and the stronger the entire educational base of Abundant Life Institute becomes.
Yeah, and we're really excited to, within our teacher development program, add different support programs as well, because they really are, they're the heart of Abundant Life Institute. They're the ones with our students day in and day out. Just things like for their children too.
Yes.
We have a dream for a daycare and preschool that could become an asset for the community as well, but just because those aren't so much of a thing in the area, but just having a safe place for their kids to come while they're working so hard to educate the students of the community, that's another big dream on the table for us to just continue.
Well, and I'd like to share that is one of Katie's visions that she brings, recognizing that having a safe spot where our staff, the children of our staff, can learn and grow, makes our staff feel more comfortable about being 100% in the classroom or 100% in the kitchen, knowing that their children are taken care of, and that they are learning and growing. Yeah. That speaks to a piece that Katie brings to the organization as a fresh, creative voice, loving heart and voice to Reach Out Honduras.
The first time that I heard about the institution, it was in 2016. Kenny called me and he told me about this institution. And I remember that they were needing an English teacher, but I wasn't finished with my studies. I've learned to speak English when I was 22 years old, and I've learned this because I really want to be able to communicate with other people around the world. I chose this institution because of its mission and vision. I really wanted to share my knowledge with the students. I really want to continue improving myself as a professional. I want to get my master's degree in something that continue related with English. This is something that I really want them to have. And when they tell me that they want to study English, it is something that at the same time tells me that I'm doing something good.
Oh, you knocked it out.
Should I do it again?
No, it's awesome.
Ah, okay.
Katie, let's talk a little bit about the executive team on the ground, because we have Eustachio as the administrator. Who else is involved in leading Abundant Life Institute forward?
So we have Kenny, who is our subdirector, and Christian, who is our secretary. And then we have Francisco, who will be coming on next year into a new role too with our executive leadership, who's already been a big support. And we're just really excited about that team that helps support Eus and all of his things. And that really helps just as he carries so much on his plate. So just creating systems around that can help him, continue moving forward as he's, getting vision and taking on some of those new things as well.
And one of those teachers on our leadership team was also named as the Teacher of the Year at Abundant Life Institute, right?
Yes, Profe Christian.
Right. Okay, so Christian was named our first Teacher of the Year. And Christian serves, as Katie mentioned, as the secretary, which is that person is responsible for all of the paperwork that is required by the Department of Education.
Critical.
And it is a lot of paperwork. He is also an expert in information technology. He's an engineer, and he's affectionately referred to as the hard drive of Abundant Life Institute. So Katie, how did you begin or fall in love with La Mosquitia?
Yeah. So when I was 13 or 14, that was my first trip down with Dr. Tom Bryan with Send Hope, which is who you guys originally, when you came down, were at House of Hope too, right?
We lived at House of Hope for a few months and supported the work of both House of Hope and then Mama Tara's mosquito orphanage.
Because y'all's was 2010. So I think I first came down in 2011. So we didn't overlap that year, but I think mine was like 2 weeks or something. But I just remember that trip for sure, totally changed the trajectory of my life. Just, feet on the ground in La Mosquitia, meeting the kids. I just remember my heart feeling at home, just falling in love with just the people, the friendships that I made with the peers my own age at the house, just with the kids, the resiliency of the people, just the beauty in all of it. It was just like an instant heart connection. And every summer after that, I just continued coming back because it was just what I loved and where I wanted to be. And do you remember what year specifically we met?
I want to say it was 2013, maybe when you came to our house, 2013 or 2014. 2013 was before the school was built, but 2014 was that first class.
Okay.
But I definitely remember you being in my home.
Yeah.
Down there and us connecting.
Yeah.
And you brought us a beautiful handmade cross that you had made.
A year or so later.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, because the school, just with my heart for all of the kids in the whole area, because some of it shuffles around and stuff, but the school was always a place where kind of just with all the transitions going on at House of Hope or Mama Tara's and stuff, just with if kids are in and out and things, the school was always a fun place because you would come there and kind of all the kiddos would be collected in one place. And year after year, just seeing them move forward in their studies.
I bet that was a neat perspective, coming every single year and being able to really see snapshots of kids growing, maturing, learning, and then
yeah, no, absolutely. And just like seeing them like reach towards their dreams, like became my dream.
How did you begin to actually work with Reach Out Honduras?
Yeah, so I think it was 2019. I was in my undergrad studying global business at UT Dallas, and you were back in Texas, and we met at Panera, I think, which is where we usually would meet. But you were wanting some help with like social media stuff, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And so I came on board originally as social media director, but and then it quickly became just getting to work with you on like all different communication pieces and just different parts of all of that. But which just felt like such a natural like flow of coming into it.
I so enjoyed working with you in that early time when you were doing social media and just being able to month by month share deeper parts of Reach Out Honduras, share the details. And then as 2020 wound down and we knew that I was going to be transitioning out of the executive director role, it seemed on our side to be a very natural fit. How did you feel about that transition from social media manager to executive director?
I'm like, do I be honest here? No, I'm like because in reality, I said no like 3 times. And I think my process in this also just speaks to like the kind of leader you are. As I said before, is you just see raw potential and get so excited for it and are like, you just build people up and see what they're capable of. But for me, I was very comfortable I wanted to stay your assistant, and I wanted you to be that. But as we talked about it, and you originally, I was very nervous about it. I just didn't know, like, I wasn't sure if I was, cut out for what what it needed. But as we continued talking about it, and you talked with the board about it, and continued to come back, and I think I was like, well, if they think, because I was very honest about where I was at and where I felt like I didn't pretend to have anything I didn't. So the fact that y'all still were confident in it, I was like, okay, maybe we can do it.
I will share this part. It's easy to teach someone the tasks of a job.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing to convince somebody to love an organization or love a group of people. Katie brings all of those things, the heart, to the job to where it doesn't even really feel like a job as such. Yeah. It is Katie does what she does with an already love and passion for and deep respect for the people of La Mosquitia.
Yeah.
And that is priceless. And I love you. I love you, Katie.
I love you.
So, Katie, you mentioned that the daycare is preschool and daycare is one of your dreams. Yeah. Share with us some of your other dreams and visions for the future of Reach Out Honduras and Abundant Life Institute.
Yeah. It is so easy to dream, like, with Eustaquio and our teachers and everything, just because there's so much potential, and there's so much need still, with just various programs because we have a lot of programming that does so well, like, fit a lot of the needs, but just like expanding on some of those things, like, we already have the teacher development program, but just, I guess, finding some of those, like with the daycare and preschool, just another way to strengthen those benefits that build upon each other. And with the daycare preschool, like, as those kids age up and expanding our grades then backwards for elementary school, because the need for quality education in secondary school obviously was so critical and needed as well. And there are primary schools in the area, but the need for that same holistic and quality programming that we bring to secondary education, I know will be so beneficial for elementary school as well, is one of our dreams.
Excellent.
Just within La Mosquitia, there's so many natural resources that are available that just with a little bit of extra tools and skill sets, I know that our students can create so many, like, businesses and be the entrepreneurs for themselves to channel into and really bring light to. And, like, with our agriculture program, that's one of the things that we're most excited about, and the new university that we have opening up within La Mosquitia itself, just for our students to be able to move forward in their studies there without having to leave, and be able to build and grow organizations themselves.
So tell me more about your dreams for the actual agriculture program at Abundant Life Institute. What is that going to look like? And tell us about the garden and our current agricultural teacher and how he's going to be growing into this new position.
Yeah. So from the beginning, when you started the garden with Abundant Life Institute, our heart with that has been to implement sustainability into the school for that food to be able to be used in our kitchen and everything. And as that's grown, we've brought on Eric, who's our amazing agricultural engineer. So he's really expanded our production, the garden production itself, and he's brought a different agricultural perspective into the school. And so now with our agricultural program, he's going to become Profe Eric, Teacher Eric, which I'm so excited about. And just for him, because he went off to university and he studied agriculture, and so he has a different perspective than just because agriculture it's a core to the way of life in La Mosquitia, most people have some familiarity with just subsistence living. He loves the research and the education elements around all of it, and is passionate about the people in the area learning those things to really bring it further than it currently is. And so he's super excited to, help inspire and encourage and show the students what's possible within the industry that they may just be unfamiliar with that's possible. And so just things like milk production and like meat processing, like in the curriculum, things that are just not super readily available and that there's not a lot of context around. Things like that the students can take and run with, and just the business practicals as well of beyond just like survival agriculture, how to scale those things out sustainably and channel it into different revenue streams and those kinds of things.
El porqué de elegir la carrera fue porque en la zona o en la comunidad de nosotros la gente se dedica bastante en la agricultura, pero no con aquel conocimiento, o sea, no tan...
Agriculture, fishing, and forestry are all deeply rooted in Mosquito culture. They make up a large portion of daily life for many in the region who work as day laborers in these sectors. Although there is vast potential in these market areas, a lack of access to advanced education and training has prevented innovation and industry growth. Sustainability and agricultural development have always been goals at Abundant Life Institute. That starts with our school garden, which ALI's agricultural engineer Eric cultivates to support our feeding program.
Soy hijo. Esto no es nada nuevo para mí de agricultura, porque desde pequeño anduve detrás de mi papá ayudándolos, pero ya siendo un poco grandecito me dediqué a estudiar. Es por eso, para mejorar el rendimiento y ver sacar adelante a los productores, ayudarlos pues más que todo.
Starting in 2022, sustainability and agricultural development will become an even bigger part of our work. Eric will become the program director for our new agriculture career path. And through collaboration with the brand new agricultural university, students will be able to continue their studies right here in La Mosquitia, gaining the skills and tools they'll need to become successful entrepreneurs and industry leaders.
So for those of our viewers tonight that may not be familiar with our career paths, can you explain a little bit about how our high school career paths, like agriculture, how they work?
Yeah, so as our students are finishing 10th grade, within Honduras, they can choose different career paths, study paths that can also track into university or that they can take into the career field. And so there's humanities, which if they take that after 11th grade, they're done. And that's usually intended for if they're going to go to university afterwards. And then the career paths wise, we have accounting and finance and tourism, which are our two current ones right now. And so those can be used as more practicums that they could start working with immediately after high school, right? Or that they can take into university as well. And so agriculture will be our fourth study path, career path for them. And that's the only one that will have the university local in La Mosquitia, which is just such a huge, huge thing because, so many of our students, they've, their life, their heart, their home is La Mosquitia. And a lot of them love the adventure and want to go out into the big city, but some of them don't. And so it's crucial and so exciting that there's going to be an opportunity for those ones that want to stay and invest into La Mosquitia and build and grow there in their home, that they're going to be able to have a path forward to do that.
And you had an opportunity to actually meet with the representatives of the university, with Eric and Eustachio. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
Yeah, so when we were down on the last trip, we got to go and be on the property itself. It's a real building that exists, which was just so exciting to see because As if you've been down before, or you may be familiar or know, just things can move a little slowly sometimes, just in the natural flow of things. So for years, we've been hearing rumors of, there's this college, this university that's going to be opening. But it's there. It's a real building. They have, textbooks and curriculum and desks in there. But so we got to go. Eric has a connection with some of the agricultural staff at the university from his, just some of his friendships that he had when he was off at school too. And so we got to go and just talk with them about the program that we're going to be starting next year. And they were super excited, and they're really excited about our students potentially coming to study there because as of now, after all of the years that we've been growing and building, Abundant Life Institute now has the community's familiar with it, and the community has begun to really trust and respect the quality of students that come out from our teachers and staff. And so they were just excited that we're going to have students interested in their programs. And so that's going to be a really cool collaboration because our students will be given, help and assistance in the entrance exams and kind of given priority entrance into those career paths because they'll already be familiar with the curriculum that they're going through in undergrad. So they'll be able to be a more seamless kind of fast track into those college programs.
This is a very exciting development and future.
Yeah.
It's actually a dream that is becoming a reality.
Yeah.
Starting in
Definitely.
2022 is when we are going to have our first 11th grade class in agriculture.
Yeah.
So this is a dream becoming a reality. So thank you, Katie, for taking this and running with it. We are really excited. So Katie, the word sustainability has been a big buzzword in both the nonprofit and the business world.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your dreams for sustainability for Reach Out Honduras and Abundant Life Institute for the future.
Yeah. There's a lot, so I'll try and just, wrap it up concisely. But with my undergrad in international business, I got to do a lot of my independent study on just ethical and sustainable manufacturing. And it's one of the things that's just really exciting about just moving forward and growing and things with all of this is just connecting the skill sets and resources that our staff and students and the community have just with opportunities in the global market, just in lots of different ways, and new revenue streams for them, and just tying in different opportunities for us as a nonprofit as well to just build in more sustainable and cohesive ways moving forward.
Right. And that goes along with the piece we talked about with transitioning to the leadership on the ground too, as far as providing a long-term view for the organization.
Yeah.
So Katie, tell us a little bit about a new project that started in 2021, kind of unexpectedly, in the prison.
Yeah. So the Department of Education in Honduras in our area reached out, and so we have our adult education program, which is on Saturdays, and it's a year program where older students who want to just get that done can come in and just one day a week get their degree done in a year. And so they reached out and asked if we could help them implement that curriculum in the local prison, which our staff was super excited about that opportunity. And they ended up, because originally it was just going to be curriculum, and then they asked if our staff would come and teach the program there as well. And so that's something that is completely new that we've implemented this year, and that has been really cool to see our teachers really take that on and take the initiative and the passion for that project. And just seeing how excited the students in the program have been as well has been really powerful and encouraging. And that's an exciting program to continue building out for next year.
You know what I love most about that program is that it began with a community need.
Yeah.
And so the need was recognized in the Puerto Lempira community.
Yeah.
And then based on the reputation and respect that Eustachio and Abundant Life Institute have in the community, they were asked to help meet that need.
papi chula, papi chula, papi chula,
Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with us tonight.
We appreciate you so very much, and we hope that you've been able to see a little glimpse into the beautiful ministry of Reach Out Honduras. If you'd like some more information, just go to our website.
Or follow us on social media here.
Thanks so much.